Hey, what's going on, guys? Mangoson here, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. And today what we're going to be talking about is the exotics that I think that are going to be broken come Witch Queen. With Void 3.0, we have some new changes. We have ability changes. We have class changes, there's aspects, we have fragments, we have super updates, we have some super changes, some super nerfs. So going into Void 3.0 with the Witch Queen update February 22nd, this still does apply after Witch Queen drops February 22nd. So you can always look back on this video and be like, hey, I knew this was going to be broken. So if you like the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Now let's get into the content. So going first will be the Hunter exotic. The Hunter exotic Graviton Forfeit. Now, the Graviton Forfeit is an exotic helmet for the Hunter. Void 3.0, we're going to have more ease of accessibility to True Sight. So, True Sight allows wall hacks. Wall hacks allows you to see through walls, see your enemies highlighted in a big orange red hue. For a brief period of time, you're able to see the enemies coming to and fro. I think about 20 meters or so. I'm not too sure on that, but the true sight, when you're in the invisibility mode with the stylus execution, allows you to see like almost the whole map. It's kind of broken. So combine this with the Graviton Forfeit. Graviton Forfeit grants you increased invisibility effects, right? So if it goes from 5 to 7, and so on and so forth. I don't know all the little numbers that add up to the increase, but it is an increase in invisibility. Now, combining that with, as long as you're invisible, your True Sight lasts. Now, we don't know if the True Sight timer and the invisibility timer are going to be together. They're going to be meshed together. Are they going to be on the same cooldown? As long as I have invisibility, does that give me True Sight? You know what I mean? So any Warlock out there with an Empowering Rift equipping the Wishender bow will tell you that having wall hacks is very good. It's almost a broken combination together. You've probably been killed by it in Trials of Osiris if you've tried to go into Trials and you've heard that drawback. You can hear it from across the map. It goes like, and that's it. You already know they're looking through walls. So, but that only lasts for a brief period of time. You can combine that with the Hunter's exotic arm piece, the armamentarium. Listen to me. It is the exotic gauntlets, the Oath Keepers. Now, these allow you to do a full draw to keep that exotic perk up. I don't think it's indefinite, but some people have said it's indefinite. I think in PvP, I don't think it's indefinite, but it's for, you can still do it in PvP, so hey. Now, next up on the list, we have the Kepri's Sting. This exotic grants you 3 separate abilities. Punching someone while you have a full melee energy will instantly cast Smoke Bomb. Gain True Sight in your own Smoke Bomb. Your Smoke Bomb deals increased damage. Now, there's only one Smoke Bomb that does damage, and that is the Middle Tree Smoke Bomb that actually does poison. Everything else either slows and disorients or gives you invisibility. So you only have one Smoke Bomb to choose from, but that Smoke Bomb does do a lot of increased damage. The Gain the True Sight ability, again, is going to be with the Stylus finishers now. So if you don't want that aspect equipped, this exotic comes with it, so you can double down on that without taking your aspect or fragment slot, wherever that goes in. You'll get the True Sight while having the Kepri's equipped. Now, what made this exotic weak and underused is the lack of tactical options that we had based around the limited design of the Void subclasses. We wanted to combine a bunch of different things. We wanted to dodge and go invis. We wanted to damage with the poison smoke bomb. We wanted to do a stylish finisher and go invis again, get more wall hacks that way. It would have been nice if it still had the backstab ability that it had from D1. When you meleeed someone in the back, your melee would do 3-5 times worth of damage once you hit the opponent in the back. It was a one-shot hit from the back. You would kill a person with the backstab ability. Now, if it wasn't attached directly to Kepri's, there was a thing on the Blade Dancer. I want to say maybe that had backstab. And then you combine that with Kepri's, and Kepri did increased damage, and then put those two together, yeah, Capsbreeze was real nice. I want to also say that Capsbreeze had the ability to, I could be remembering D1 wrong, but if you crouch for 3 seconds, I don't know if that was an innate ability for one of the subclasses, you crouch for a second or 3 seconds or something, you will go invisible. So that was kind of broken as well. The Bungie didn't give us that back, but with the increase, with the weakening effects and going invisible, getting wall hacks while getting that kill, I guess that makes up for it. But if the wall hacks don't come with invisibility, we have to get wall hacks and get invisibility. That's stacking a lot of chips on top of an already full plate of what we want to use for our hunters. So they're really leaning into the invisibility wall hack aspect of the hunter. So move more ninja-like, if you want to say that. So next up we have on the list what I think is going to make a miraculous comeback is going to be the Radiant Dance Machines. These exotic pants will make a comeback. So just listen. With everything that I've seen with the Radiant Dance Machines, these things were so powerful they got nerfed into the dirt. But with Void 3.0 coming, there's a lot of things that Bungie may or may not have counted on that's going to happen with being able to customize our Void Warlock. So maybe they're hoping we break the game so they'll be able to tone stuff down. Maybe Radiant Dance Machines will end up getting put out of commission like a Telesto. So if you don't believe me, the background gameplay footage you've been seeing this whole time has been with me with the Radiant Dance Machines. So you may be asking yourself, Magnum Son, why the Radiant Dance Machines out of all the exotics are going to be what breaks the game? Well, I'm so glad you asked. So these pants do one thing, and they only do one. They do it very well. Activating your dodge allows you to dodge additional times for a short period of time. Now, I know what you're thinking. These don't work with Dynamo anymore in PvP. They don't work with freeze dodge and stack cold damage. They're terrible in PvP. Why would I want to put these things back on? But what if I told you you're kind of right? So in PvE, it does still work with Dynamo. So it'll give you the Dynamo chunk of super energy, a big chunk of it once you do it. It won't do it continuously as you dodge, but it will give you that one big chunk. I've tried it with the other class item that gives you your melee back, gives you your grenade back. I didn't really see that helping me out too much, but that's what you have the stasis energy for, using that. But what you can do is on your gloves, you can put on bolstering mods. This will give you your ability energy back when you do damage with a grenade and with a melee. Now, most of us are going to be rocking the melee that does damage for the most part. With a wombo combo with the melee that does the damage, you're more than likely going to get that kill with the wombo combo. So you have to dodge. You can pair these with invisibility, but the thing that I want to point out to you is that Radiant Dance Machines has a 15-meter radius detection, right? 15 meters radar detection for an enemy coming within your area. Now, if you're using a sniper, if you're using a shotgun, if you're using anything aimed down sights, if you have a weapon out that has threat detector will activate. Now, at the same range, you can have threat detector and you can have Radiant Dance Machines activated, the multi-dodge activated perk. Now, that lets you know that someone is within 15 meters. It takes 7 or 8 meters to kill with a shotgun. So you still have time to get out of range before you're shotgunned. So, now, if you don't think that having an always active threat detector on screen is worth it, if you don't think that's game breaking, then as anybody who uses threat detector, or if you use Might of Multi-Tool or the Ace of Spades, they keep the radar up. You wouldn't think that was game breaking, but they made a whole exotic out of the Knucklehead radar. Now, if you use the knucklehead radar with the battle rifle or with the forerunner, you'll see that having something so simple such as being able to know where the enemy's at, wall hacks, or having that spidey sense activate, the multi-dodge activate within 15 minutes, or threat detector. Mainly shotguns. I want to say some submachine guns, they come with threat detector on it, maybe some sidearms, but having it always activated, and then as soon as it gets within range, you can use your multiple dodge. The dodge is a movement tool. So either you can move left, right, forward, back. You can't move up and down, but you will be able to get your spidey sense tingling with the radiant dance machines. And if you go invis, then you just came off of their map. Now, if you move forward and use it with the arc, you are harder to hit when you dodge, right? Bottom tree, arc, strider, harder to hit when you dodge. Now, if you use this in combination with the solar class, right, you will be able to dodge around an enemy, get your melee back, right? Throw a knife. If you miss or hit, if you're still within range, you do another dodge, you get another melee back. If there's more enemies, you can dodge and get your melee back. You can continuously throw knives as long as you're within 15 meters. It takes 8 to 7 meters to kill with a shotgun. Are you going to hit with your knife before they hit you with a shotgun? How good are you? It's going to take a really skilled player to really use Radiant Dance Machines at its maximum potential. But with Solar 3.0, imagine this, Radiant Dance Machines, if you have on Playing with Fire, which increases your ability to regen as you burn an enemy, a solar grenade with a hunter, and you're able to dodge, get your melee back, do another dodge, get your melee back. The DPS output is kind of ridiculous, and with each one of these hits, you are getting energy back, you are getting your melee back. If you switch to the reloader, you'll get all your ammo back. There's a combo there. It is full of potential, and I can only see where it's going to go as the other subclasses get updated throughout the course of the year. Now for the Titans, this one's going to be a short one because all melee exotics are about to be broken in the game. Burning Fists, Doomfang Pauldrons, I mean even the Titan's Ramparts. You know you can shoot through the barricade, but did you also know you can throw stuff through it too? Grenades, hammers, shield toss. So the one thing that the Void melee was bad at was the close proximity that the melee itself had to have. Now, with the shield throw being the default melee, and I think shield bash is the other one that they're giving you the option to choose from. I don't believe that the fist is a melee anymore. It's just a shield throw or the shield bash. So they took that right off of the Titan. If you want to punch regularly, I want to say it's going to be an uncharged melee. Now, the shield throw will be able to ricochet off of multiple combatants. This will be able to ricochet off of multiple combatants. Now, if I remember correctly through the TWAB, the ricochet hits, the kills, the final blows with the shield toss return a little bit of melee energy upon a final blow. Now, combine this with Burning Fists, combine this with Doom Marchers, stand behind a Titan's Rampart barricade, you can throw the shields through. Combine this with the Doomfang Pauldrons for that ability energy, the super charge rate. It's thresh on your melee. Now the Doom Marchers work with any melee. So a Void shield throw with a static electric charge, right? Because it works with any melee, uncharged melee or not. It works with the shoulder charges, works with the shield bashes, works with the hammer throw, and it definitely will work with the shield throw. They're not going to neglect Doom Marchers and its static electricity build on just the shield throw. So Now, last but not least, we have our Warlock. So the number one exotic that's going to be broken during the Witch Queen is going to be the Stag. The amount of rift energy that you get back from being critically wounded is next level high. Combining this with Devour and the weakening effect, the Child of the Old Gods, this is going to be a top tier contender for little soul buddy summoning. If you run the Arc Soul, right? If you have, let's say you have two Warlocks. You have one running Arc Soul, you have one running Child of the Old Gods. You have a weakening effect, and then you have, now that guy is running the Arc Soul, he's probably using Getaway Artist, a really fast pumping out Arc Soul that's shooting rapid fire arc bullets at you. Or you have a Stasis Warlock with a Bleak Turret, so you can't get away, so you weaken and now you're slowed. Right, you're just a 1,000-year-old guardian that can't move and is decrepit, and now you're at the whim of this warlock who's outclassed you, who's about to outgun you, and who out-strategized you, all for just dropping a rift. Now, you can also make a third arc buddy, soul buddy, whatever, with the No Time to Explain. Get your precision shots, 10, that thing spawns. Now, Bungie said that there's going to be a unique interaction with the three, the Arc, the whatever, the No Time to Explain buddy that comes out, and the Child of the Old Gods. When you have all three of them on your one Warlock, there's a unique interaction with that. So expect for a unique interaction to be seen in some YouTube video later on down the road. If I don't get to it first, somebody will. Now, you also have that damage resistance. That is a plus 30% damage resistance in PvE, 15% damage reduction in PvP. I want to say, or it could be 30% to yourself, 15% for your allies, right? But there's a damage reduction nonetheless. Now, doing the legendary campaign, the Stag is probably going to be necessary. You're probably going to want to run the Stag. You know, bottom tree, Arc, get your Arc buddy, Stag for damage resistance and healing rift, so you can get through the legendary content, right? So it's going to be you, two other fire team members probably, or you solo it. But if you have your Arc buddy with you, I mean, it's two guardians versus a bunch of hive, you know, getting through the legendary campaign, getting through to fight the Witch Queen just so she can run away and you have to fight her in a raid or something later on. Now, having a double melee with the Claws of Ahamkara, the Void melee seems like it shoots a bit slow. Don't know if you can charge it up and make it go faster. In the trailer, they did shoot out a bit faster, but from what I've seen, it does shoot still a bit slow. But when it hits, it smacks. But Nezarec Sin's always been good, so I don't think it's going to break Witch Queen. It's just going to be still good. Now, the sleeper that could potentially be the new go-to could potentially be the Dire Skull, or Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Now, it's going to get an entropic pull on its Vortex super. That means when you throw it, it's going to do what it does. It's going to hit the enemy. It's going to do a bunch of damage. The lingering effect is going to do damage over time, but it's actually going to start pulling enemies into it like a black hole. Now, this super didn't do much before. I don't think anyone used it besides solo Nova bombing someone they hated in Crucible, but it's a much needed perk for that to pull enemies into it, because once that enemy moved out of that circle, it didn't do anything. It just kind of just stayed there and lingered around, loitering, just being big for no reason and damaging nothing. And enemy AI is smart. It's a bunch of damage just in there. They won't walk into it unless maybe a Thrall. Maybe a Thrall will just run through it trying to get to you, but any other enemy in the game would just, they're going to move. You try to hit a boss with it, try to hit a witch with it, they're just going to swoop right out the way, right or left. And you're going to be like, I missed. So what can you do besides throw your hands up? I missed. So, in my opinion, I think that on top of having that entropic pull, pulling the enemies in there, they said it wasn't going to be as big as when the Dustfield Grenade first came out and it pulled enemies in. But I mean, the Nova Bomb itself is pretty big, so even having some type of pull effect to bring enemies in, it's gonna be okay. But the Vortex Grenade itself is gonna have that pull too, so I think that's where that change came in. The Vortex Grenade got it, so the Nova Bomb essentially got it. They're the same thing, just one's bigger than the other one. So at the end of the day, size matters for this thing. So the damage of the Nova Bomb needs to be scaled up on single target damage. I think it needs to have an increasing damage over time. I think it just does a steady amount of damage over time. Like it hits, boom, big damage, and then does slow damage as it just sits there on the enemy, pulling more enemies in now. But if it did increase damage the longer the enemy stayed in there, maybe Skull, Dire Skull of Ahamkara, Skull of Dire Ahamkara, if it had an extra perk on it saying, hey, when you use the Nova Bomb, increase the damage, and it increased it by half. It doesn't have to be as big as the Titan's exotic with 100% on using the Thunder Crash, but it could use a damage increase. I mean, Slova Bomb was already good, so if you were to use Slova Bomb and hit multiple enemies with it, maybe it could take out some small, big health yellow bars. You could take out a champion, like you hit one champion with it, that's actually stunned. It goes and hits the next champion, takes him out, takes out everybody. Just explosions everywhere. So that would be nice, but we'll see if we get something like that in the future. And that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you think any other exotics or weapons or good pairings are going to be broken come Witch Queen on February 22nd. Let me know if this video was entertaining, if you want to see more videos like this. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.